Alright, hello everyone, it's Acro, and today we're taking a look at pitchforks, which are one of the best tools for Bitcoin. In fact, they're so good that they have predicted every single bull market top, and the precision has been unmatched. Every time the price goes into the red line, it's been the exact top each and every time. But they've also been able to predict the bottoms of the bear market. And in this video, I'll show you exactly how, and in replay mode, so without cheating and without hindsight. And then we'll apply the same exact logic for the current bear market, because once again, the pitchforks are predicting the bottom of the bear market, and it's a lot closer than what you might think. So if you want to know exactly where this is, make sure to not miss any part of the video. So the way you draw the pitchfork is fairly easy. You just pick the macro bottom, then the macro top, and then the macro bottom again. And it creates for you this channel with the red line in the middle. And here it was the exact top in 2017. Then we can do the same thing for the following cycle. We pick the bottom, we pick the top and the bottom. And here once again is the top. And then the cycle after that, we take the bottom, the top, and the bottom. And here we've actually touched the red line multiple times, but we've never been able to break above. So it's an amazing tool for finding the tops. But obviously right now we are in the bear market. And what's interesting is, can this tool actually provide us info for where the bear market bottom will be? And the answer is yes, but it takes a lot of reverse engineering. And let's quickly go over 2018, for example, just to show you how this works. The idea is to pick the bottom and the top. And here, obviously, we don't know where the bottom is. But when we move around, we can see how it's forming this channel. And a pitchfork is valid once the touches are clean. And what I mean by that is that both the white lines as well as the middle red line are powerful support and resistance and with precision in the past. So here, when we move around, the first logical place is here because it connects the tops. However, you can tell how the red line is not really that good in terms of support and resistance. So let's continue moving up. And here you can tell how the red line is nice. It was resistance here, support here, resistance, support. The top white line was quite good. And look at all these touches at the bottom white line. So this is clearly the best looking pitchfork for this cycle here. And now look at what happens when I exit the replay mode. So we are looking at this cycle here, and look at the bottom. It was exactly what the pitchfork has predicted. And now you can see how powerful it is. So basically the idea is to try and find the best looking fit in the past, and it's very likely that this actually is the bottom. All right, so let's hide this and let's do the same thing in 2021. So we pick the bottom here, we pick the top. And here we can move around. So the first best looking pitchfork is this one where we connect the tops here. And the red line is a decent support and resistance here. So this pitchfork looks alright. But as you'll see, if I leave the replay, we've never actually gone all the way down there. So because we never got down there, let's go back into replay mode. And let's simply move up to find other pitchforks. So the next most obvious one is when we connect the top here. So here the tops are nicely connected. The bottoms as well here. We have nice support here and resistance there. And the red line is a good support and resistance. Look at this here, here it's a strong resistance. So once again, in this cycle, this was the most convincing skiff pitchfork. And when we leave the replay, it was here exactly the bottom of the bear market. So I mean, so far it has worked every time. And now is the very interesting part, because let's look at what it means for the current cycle. So for the current cycle, the bottom is here, the top is here, and for the bottom, of course, we are looking for it. So if we connect the bottom, the top, and we move around, this is the first best looking pitchforks because we connect the tops. The red line is a quite good support and resistance level, but you can notice how the bottom of the pitchfork is all the way down at 30K, and I think it's highly unlikely we get there. But if we start to break down violently to the downside, then this is the target for the bottom. So here once again, if this is not valid, then let's keep moving it up. And connecting this top is the next obvious pitchfork. It's also quite good because the red line here connects the top, although the bottom white line is not that good. And once again, it predicts prices at like 40K. And I also think it's unlikely. So let's keep moving up. And this right here is by far the best looking pitchfork for this current cycle. Why? Because the top white line is cleanly connecting this here, here it's support, here is resistance as well. Then when we look at the red line, we have the top of the bull market here it's support, here it's a very strong resistance right before COVID, here it's resistance all the way through the bull market, here it's support. I mean, the red line here has been incredible. So if this is the pitchfork for this cycle, then look at how close we are from the bottom. So it will not be surprising at all if in the coming weeks and months, we come just to make a higher low, retouch it, and then we start the bull market. But when you see this, you might say, well, it's very close to this bottom. It might be the same thing, like we might have actually bottomed. But let me show you why it's less likely. So if I draw the same pitchfork and connect it to the bottom we formed, you can see how the lines are a bit different. So let me change the color so we can see it better. Let's make it yellow, for example. And here you can clearly see how the red line is a lot better than the middle yellow line in terms of the precision of the touches all along the way. And the same goes for the top white line here, where it connects more cleanly the tops. So that's why I don't think we have bottomed here, or at the very least, I don't think this is the right pitchfork. I think this is the good one. And I think this is the best contender for the bottom of the bear market. Now I want to show you another very good reason why this area here is a very strong place for the bottom of the bear market. So remember when we drew this pitchfork here, connects the bottom, the top and the bottom, and it created the top here of the bull market? Well, what's actually noticeable if you look back is that the extremes of the tops and bottoms are ever so slightly deviating from the channel. So if we actually try to draw it, here's by the way in blue a very strong support and resistance line. That's around the 0.5 level. But if we take a look at these deviations here they are in yellow and orange. And look how interesting it is, because the same amount of deviation from the middle red line creates the orange lines and the yellow lines. And they have been exactly the top here of this bull market. Here the yellow line has been the top of this bull market. In terms of bottoms, here it was the exact top here, the exact bottom, the exact top. Here it was resistance, here it was the bottom of the COVID low, and look at where it is now. It is extremely close to the current price, so both levels, the yellow and the orange, are strong. And if I put back on the pitchfork that we've established for the current bear market, so the top, the bottom, and the bottom that we expect in the future, then look at how nicely it aligns with this corridor between the yellow and the orange. So that's the first very strong sign of confluence here, because once again, look at how clean the reactions have been of the yellow and the orange lines. Personally, I will be very surprised if we go below it. And it doesn't even stop there, because so far, as you can see, we've picked the extremities at this low here, this top here, and this low here. But you can notice how we could have taken this low actually. And if we do so, it creates this pitchfork right here. So we pick this low, this high, and this low. And this is also a very valid pitchfork. Look at how great the touches have been in the past for the white lines, the blue lines, the red lines. And here once again you can see how the price likes to deviate away from the edges. And once again there is a specific corridor here in pink that mark the top here of this bull market, the bottom of this bear market, the bottom here once more, and the top here. And look at this once again, it is very close to the current price. I mean, it really seems like everything is lining up for this zone here to be the bottom. So if I put the other pitchfork, you can see how it's clearly different. And yet the zones are aligning here. And on top of that, the main pitchfork of this cycle that we've looked at is also right in this zone here. So to be clear, there is a first very strong zone right here, right below us, where all these lines connect. And the second one would be here at the bottom. But anything in between is also valid, and it could be the bottom of the bear market. And I would be very surprised if we start to break down, because all of these lines have been extremely powerful support and resistance. And I really think that there's a lot of evidence now for this zone here to be the bottom. So the thing is that these levels are moving with time. So right now, for example, the levels are around 58k, but in a few months it could be at 64k, right? And the same goes for the bottom. Right now it's at 52k, but over time in December it will be at 60k. So whenever we hit these important levels, I will update you in future videos, so make sure to be subscribed and turn on notifications to not miss the next updates, because I'm fairly certain that a major move will start from here. And if you're new to the channel, you should definitely watch my other videos, because this zone here has a lot of other confluence. For example, there's an indicator called the Bitcoin rainbow wave. You can tell how accurate it's been over time. And right now we are exactly at the bottom of this wave. So make sure to go check out the other videos on my channel. And I hope in this video you learned a lot about pitchforks and how powerful they can be and how they will likely mark the bottom of this bear market. And that's it for me. Make sure to like the video and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. That was Acro. Bye.